The world in 2025. When we look at the global technology map, our eyes are often drawn to the familiar beacons: Silicon Valley in California, Shenzhen in China, or the skyscrapers of Tokyo. But today, December 10th, I want you to look somewhere else. A place lying right at the heart of Southeast Asia. A place where the tropical humidity blends with the 20-degree chill of sterile server rooms. Where the scent of palm oil and durian mixes with the smell of ozone in molten metal. Welcome to Malaysia. For decades, the world viewed Malaysia as a pleasant tourist destination, an exporter of natural resources, or a second-tier assembly hub. They called it the Asian tiger that refused to grow up. But while the world was swept up in the artificial intelligence storm and the semiconductor Cold War, this tiger quietly awoke. No noise, no fanfare. Malaysia executed a spectacular coup within the global supply chain. Look at the smartphone in your hand. Chances are the microprocessor inside it once passed through a small island off the northwest coast of the Malay Peninsula. Look at the data cloud hosting humanity's billions of photos. Chances are they are resting securely in a reinforced concrete fortress on the southern border next to Singapore. The story of Malaysia in 2025 is not a story of luck. It is a story of preparation, of patience, and of how a nation exploited the smallest geopolitical cracks to transform itself into an irreplaceable fortress. Today, we will go deep inside these new technological cathedrals. We will meet the engineers who are redesigning the world's brain. We will decode how a nation once stuck in the middle-income trap is now standing on the precipice of becoming a new tech superpower. I am Bole Build 3.0, and this is the full dossier on Malaysia 2025, from assembly line to the brain of Southeast Asia. To understand this brilliant present, we must travel back in time. Not to 2020, but to 1972. The context: Penang, the Pearl of the Orient, was suffering severe economic recession after losing its free port status. Unemployment was skyrocketing. The state government at the time, led by the late Chief Minister Lim Chong Yu, made a bold decision, a gamble that would change the nation's destiny forever. He sent a delegation around the world to court investors, and they succeeded. The first 8 multinational electronic companies set foot here. They were called the 8 Samurai. Among them were legendary names: Intel, AMD, Hewlett-Packard, Hitachi. Why did they come? Not for high tech. They came for the labor, cheap labor, very cheap labor. For the next 40 years, Malaysia played its role perfectly, a diligent assembler. Millions of chips were sent here as raw wafers, cut, packaged into plastic casings, wire bonded, tested to see if they worked, and then shipped out. That was the back-end process: low value add, low wages, and easily replaceable. There was a time when it seemed Malaysia would be stuck there forever. In the early 2010s, Vietnam emerged as a fierce competitor in labor costs. China became the factory of the world. Malaysia was squeezed in the middle, not cheap enough to compete with its neighbors, but not skilled enough to spar with Taiwan or South Korea. That was the nightmare known as the middle-income trap. Top engineers left for Singapore. Old factories began to rust. It seemed the legacy of the 8 Samurai was fading away. But history always has unexpected turns. In 2019, the US-China trade war exploded. In 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic shattered global supply chains. The world suddenly realized a terrifying truth. We had put too many eggs in one basket. Tech corporations panicked, searching for a safe haven, a neutral place, a place with existing infrastructure, intellectual property laws, and most importantly, a place that didn't pick a side in the macro war. And when looking around the map of Asia, only one name shone the brightest: Malaysia. Back to the present, December 2025. We are standing on the Penang Bridge, the 13.5-kilometer cable-stayed bridge connecting the island to the mainland. An endless line of container trucks flows by. But inside those containers are no longer cheap components. We are entering Bayan Lepas, the heart of the Silicon Valley of the East. Look at Intel's new complex. It is no longer just a simple assembly plant. It is a fortress of advanced packaging. Why is this keyword so important? Let me explain the engineering. Previously, Moore's law stated that the number of transistors on a chip would double every 2 years. But physics is reaching its limit. We can't shrink chips forever. What is the solution? Instead of trying to cram more onto a flat plane, we stack them on top of each other, like building a skyscraper instead of a bungalow. That is advanced packaging, 3D Foveros technology, chiplets, and Malaysia, thanks to 50 years of packaging experience, is now the master of this stacking technique. They are no longer wrapping gifts in newspaper. They are crafting the most exquisite jewelry boxes. An engineer at Intel Penang, let's call him Hazik, told me, in 2020, my job was to ensure machines ran stably. In 2025, my job is to design how heat dissipates when we stack 5 layers of chips. Hazik's salary has doubled in 3 years, but the pressure has increased tenfold. It's not just Intel. Germany's Infineon just inaugurated the world's largest SiC, silicon carbide, chip factory in Kulim, right near Penang. These are the chips used for electric vehicles. Every Tesla or BYD driving on the road today might carry a piece of Malaysia inside. This shift pulls an entire ecosystem along with it. Previously, Malaysia had to import everything, from chemicals and gases to inspection machinery. Now, domestic companies like Inari Amertron or Vitrox are rising. Vitrox, a company founded by former Malaysian engineers, is now manufacturing machine vision systems to inspect chip defects, exporting them back to the world. This is the clearest proof that Malaysia has climbed the value ladder. From hired hands, they have begun to take ownership.
Freshly cooked, siapa mau? Very spicy today.
But this rosy picture has some worrying shades of gray. And the biggest gray area is named Manpower. When you walk around the food courts in Penang at lunch hour, you will hear a myriad of languages: Malay, Mandarin, English, and increasingly, Vietnamese, Indonesian, Filipino. Why? Because Malaysia is severely short of people. The government estimates they need an additional 60,000 high-tech engineers by 2026. Domestic universities can only meet about 20% of that demand. The headhunting war is brutal. An IC, integrated circuit, design engineer with 3 years of experience in Penang is now considered a national treasure. Companies are willing to pay starting salaries of 6,000 to 8,000 ringgit for fresh graduates. Figures unimaginable a few years ago. But the problem lies here. Malaysia's best engineers are working in Singapore. With the geographical distance so short and the Singapore dollar exchange rate 3.5 times higher than the ringgit, brain drain is an open wound that has never healed for Malaysia. Commuting to work in Singapore in the morning and sleeping in Johor Bahru at night is the way of life for hundreds of thousands. To fill the void, Malaysia in 2025 is opening up like never before. They are issuing digital nomad visas and special passes for foreign tech talent. Whose opportunity is this? For young engineers from Vietnam, India, those with strong technical foundations who want to find an international environment with more competitive income than back home. I met Nguyen, a software tester from Ho Chi Minh City, working in Bayan Lepas. He said, "It's not just about the salary here. It's the opportunity to touch devices that I only saw in the news back in Vietnam. Working directly in a 3-nanometer chip production process is a dream. However, this influx also creates social friction. Rent prices in Penang have surged 30% in the last 2 years. Traffic congestion. Locals are starting to complain about the cost of living. Technology brings money, but it also brings pressure," a veteran Grab driver lamented to me as we were stuck in traffic on Jelutong Road. That is the price of rapid growth. But for the Malaysian government, it is a good problem to have. Because instead of worrying about unemployment, they now worry about not having enough housing for engineers. Saying goodbye to Penang with its chip factories lit up 24/7, we head south, where another revolution, quieter but massive in scale, is taking place, where the chips made in Penang will find their home. That is the data revolution, and its epicenter lies in Johor. Our journey through Malaysia's tech landscape is only halfway done. If you found value in this deep dive, please hit that like button below. It helps the algorithm immensely and fuels us to create more high-quality documentaries like this one. And make sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you do not want to miss the revelations coming in part 2. I'm Bole Build 3.0. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in Johor.